Hi, this is Gary Kayye. We're here at Integrate 2019 in Melbourne, Australia. I'm here with Geoff Smith, the General Manager of Jands. Hey, Geoff, how are you?
Very good, thanks, Gary. How are you?
I'm doing well, doing well. Jands, a 50-year-old distributor here in Australia, known historically for your relationships with really high-end audio companies, and you've got great representation this year at the show. First off, how's the show been for you for this year?
It's actually been really good. I mean, it goes through some lull periods, but overall our stand's been very busy. I think the Melbourne show traditionally is probably a little bit lighter on than what the Sydney show may be, but overall we're happy. We're having some really good meetings. We had some really good dinners last night, catching up with people. It's almost about networking as much as it is about product.
Yeah, and we'll come back to the networking in just a second because people are here to see product.
Okay, yeah.
And you've got half a dozen of some of the hottest brands in the industry right now, and you've got a great demo suite upstairs, which we'll get to in just a second. But what are you finding people are most interested in? I know that networking audio and networking video is a big topic nowadays in the industry.
Well, yeah, it is. And I think, but one of the biggest things is still the communication side of it. So video is really important. I think it's going to become, over the next 5 years, we're going to see this industry essentially evolve and change, I believe. There's always this AV over IT, or whatever you want to call it, or over IP, the AV IT convergence. I think it will happen. How people fit inside that is actually what we're all going to find out in the next 5 years. I think there will always be a place for AV. There's no doubt about that, because you're going to have endpoints, microphones to speakers. What's in between will be a little bit different. So that's really what I see as the industry. The communication side is what we're really seeing this year. You've done so many conferences over video conferences, and I always like to say, how many times have you done a video conference where the video side's not working and you just plow on?
A lot.
Yep. How many times have you done one where the audio's not working and you plow on?
Can't.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't. Audio is the key, and it's interesting because you have two brands here that do networking of audio differently, right? Yep. You have Shure and you have Biamp as two examples. And so it's interesting because we don't have a standard. So there's an opportunity here. And I guess we're sort of stewards of making sure that the customers are happy and make sure that it works properly, because this equipment isn't meant to work together yet.
Yeah, and I think what you're talking about is this idea of like some companies are working in the Dante land, some are working in AVB land, some are working in the AES. Yep. So, yeah, there is no standard, and I don't know how this is going to play out. We often talk about it as being like, is this the beta VHS war? We don't exactly know how it's going to play out. I think what we try and do is find what is the solution that's best for the customer and how we build that solution. And that's probably why we have the brands we have at the moment, is so that we can actually provide solutions based on what works for the customer best. It's going to be an interesting development over the next couple of years as well, of how this all changes again, how much stuff and software goes up into the cloud. I can certainly see and know most manufacturers are looking at this sort of side of the DSP.
Yeah, and in fact, if you look at Dante as one example, they've got a complete cloud-based solution now, and which obviously your brands are supporting. I mean, I think almost every audio brand you have has a Dante connection one way or another. So let's talk about the industry and the market. Australia's in a unique position. I've always loved coming to this show because it's sort of been a bellwether for the rest of the world, because what happens here seems to happen in the rest of the world. The economy's been up and down a little bit here recently, but it's still pretty strong.
Yeah, it is pretty strong still. I mean, I would say that probably the back half of last financial year, the last 6 months, it did sort of taper off for everyone. We had an election in Australia at that time. That could have been a big component of it. Because the previous 6 months had been like out of the gate, unbelievable. And we were just going, we're going to absolutely torch this year. It's going to be fantastic. It did slow down. We still came, we didn't actually, and I'll be honest, we didn't actually hit what our revenue target was, but we got within like 98.5%. Okay. So we were like, okay, that's good enough, because we set aggressive targets. What is really promising though is we're seeing in our own pipeline, and also talking with all the other integrators and consultants, there seems to be a big body of work that's coming through again. So I think that confidence has come back into the market. So we're really good about that, or we're really confident about that and feeling good. The unknown, obviously the trade war. Yeah, we don't know how that's all going to play out at the moment. We're slightly isolated from it because it's really a tariff imposition in the US.
It is.
So we can actually be circumvented by the fact we bring goods in from other territories, and we don't have to worry about it in that respect. So we're slightly isolated from it, or just off to the side of it. But you always have that concern about consumer confidence, and if that tanks, it slows down. I think if we were talking our industry, what would we see? Probably not an immediate impact on the system integration side. It usually runs probably 12 months to 18 months behind. But anyone in the retail section, and we have a vertical market or a business unit that operates in retail, it would probably get buffeted first, and then you'd start to see it in the system integration side down the track. So we'll see how it all plays out, but confidence is pretty good at the moment.
That's good to know, because you're physically closer to China, but also you have a pretty big influence of China investment here in Australia overall. I'm excited about where the industry's at. I'm certainly excited for this show. And one thing I want to mention is one of the newer brands that you picked up was L Acoustics, and you're doing the Elisa demo upstairs. Yeah. That's really impressive. I don't know if you had a chance to see that at ISE or Infocom, yes, but you're doing it here. And L Acoustics is a very strong brand. Congratulations on picking them up, and all that you've done here at the show. Congratulations on your success for 50 years. Yeah. I really appreciate you joining me this morning. And we actually are going around right now. We're literally in the middle of it, shooting videos at every one of these product stations. We'll end up with at least 20 videos from the Jands stand. It rhymes, Jands stand. Or we'll end up with at least 20 videos. So all you have to do is go to raypubs.com, click on the integrate link, right? And then type in Jands, Jands, in the video search window. You'll find all the videos that we're shooting, including all the products we mentioned here. And of course, you can always go to the Jands website, which I believe is jands.com.au. Is that right?
That's right, yeah.
I got a pretty good memory. Jands.com.au. Geoff, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. Thank you. And good luck for the next 2 days. The second day of the show just opened. We got a lot more coverage. You can see all of our coverage at raypubs.com/integrate2019.